Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. So, at the end of every day, after dinner, my wife and I relax and we watch a movie. Not so much TV, but we have Netflix and we go through what's popular, what's trending, my queue. So, we either stream a movie or watch a disc. I actually have a Blu-ray player, so you can't always stream the movie you want. Netflix, you gotta, So I'm a big film guy, so that's my thing. Or maybe we might even watch like a good television series. Like lately, we've been watching The Office. So anyway, so last night, we decided. Actually, I decided. My wife went to bed early. I decided on a movie that's trending now, Lolita. And you have to wonder, why is this Lolita? Is it because of this Jeffrey Epstein kind of stuff? And, if people who don't know, Lolita is the story of if you really want to call a spade, a pedophile, right? Okay, so anyway, I sat down and I watched the movie and I was quite disappointed. Now, I was psyched for two reasons. Number one, by the way, here's the book here. I've read this at least a half a dozen times. I first read this in my 20s, Vladimir Nabokov, one of the greatest English writer stylists. His writing is just beautiful. And by the way, not his native language. He's Russian. Spoke three languages: Russian, French, obviously English, and whatever. But as far as stylists and his wordplay and games, he was just the best. I mean, one of the best books I've ever read, and it didn't even matter. Like the story it's a story about a pedophile, a college professor who gets obsessed with. In the book, she's 12 years old. In the movie, I think she's like 4. She's a teenager, whatever. But so Humpert is this guy who falls in love with a nymphette, as he calls her. And there's a whole story, and it's just beautiful, beautiful writing, and it's so satisfying and challenging. Like after every paragraph, you got to stop and think. Like, let me just read this first little short paragraph. I hate to read, but this is very short. It says, Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins, my sin, my soul. Lolita, the tip of the tongue taking a trip of 3 steps down the palate to tap at 3 on the teeth. Lolita. She was low, plain low in the morning, standing 4 feet 10 in one sock. She was Lola in slacks. She was Dolly at school. She was Dolores on the dotted line, but in my arms she was always Lolita. And then it goes on to Cherry Precursor. I mean, it's just brilliant, brilliant prose. And then there's so many allusions, and it's just awesome. So you have that. I'm like, whoa, Lolita, right? And then, by the way, this movie was made in 1963. My favorite director of all time, Stanley Kubrick. So, my goodness, you can't go wrong. I was a little skeptical because this is a book to be read. Like, you don't want to make a movie about Lolita. It's just, you're looking for beautiful language. Although, by the way, they did make a remake with Jeremy Irons, Lolita. So, okay, I digress. So, I saw that one too. But, so, super disappointed. Humpert was played by James Mason. The mother was what's her name? Shelley Winters, big fat woman from in the Poseidon Adventure, many other movies. And then what's her name? The girl, is it Lynn? It doesn't matter. But and it was kind of a comedy, sort of, and the filming was awesome, but it was just dog shit. I watched and I was like, wow, what a horrible disappointment. Vladimir Nabokov, one of my favorite writers and my favorite director, Stanley Kubrick, and so I guess I said afterwards, like, what is going on here? Is this desire for young prepubescent. Well, actually, sort of. If you read Nabokov's book, it's the nymphette stage. She's 12 years old, so it's just starting to get into puberty and adolescence. So it's not quite a teenager, and he makes that distinction. It's not like a 15-year-old girl who's had, all that. It's like just starting, and there's something so appealing to these perverts, and it's awful, So my question is this like an epidemic since time immemorial? And the answer is yes. This pedophilia with these young girls. And now, I said at the beginning of this video what's going on with Jeffrey Epstein and Clinton and the Lolita Express. These rich guys with young girls, it's just so puzzling to me. I do not have, obviously, it's just, I don't really understand it. And I was just having a conversation with my wife. It's like, let's just say Jeffrey Epstein and let's say Bill Clinton, the rumors, right? Like, what is the difference between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old? Like, physically, not much, right? But yet, the 18-year-old, nothing happens to you, 100% legal. The 17-year-old, you go to jail for a long time, and it's rape. Then, of course, and then we got into like a 12-year-old and 13, an actual nymphette. And then there is that difference or whatever. But it is such a weird, puzzling thing. Hey, Elvis Presley met Priscilla. Priscilla was 13 years old. So what do you people think? What is this pedophilia stuff? Young girls. And have you read the book, Nabokov's Lolita? If you have not read it, oh my God, what a treasure. And it's not, the story doesn't interest me at all. It's the just incredible writing. And then the movie, right? Stanley Kubrick's 1963 movie, and then there was a remake with Jeremy Irons. Okay, on that note, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience, peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.